Hey guys, GameTom coming at you with our first ever theory video. I've never done one before, and I'm not sure how many of these I'll do, but in the wake of E3 and the second Breath of the Wild 2 teaser, I've had some thoughts I wanted to share. There is some solid evidence that suggests that Vaati, the ex-Picori Wind Mage from the Legend of Zelda, the Minish Cap, Four Swords, and Four Swords Adventures, will feature in this upcoming sequel to the Breath of the Wild. Which would be crazy since he hasn't been in a Zelda game since the GameCube days, and has never even been in a 3D Zelda at all. I noticed that there weren't a lot of people commenting on this particular theory, and I wanted to expound on a few things that I noticed during my own personal ponderings of this new trailer. That said, let's jump right in. So, the biggest point of interest for pro-Vaati theorists, and the one thing that just about every theory video I've seen mentions, is the eye on this robot in the new teaser. People have mentioned that it could be a modified Sheikah eye, and it certainly could, but to me it looks a lot more like the eye often associated with Vaati. From the curls on the edges to the position of the iris, it just seems to fit. It does bear some resemblance to the well-known Sheikah emblem, and Nintendo does enjoy using eye-themed designs in their games, but I just felt a strong resemblance with Vaati. The fact that this robot is found on one of these mysterious sky islands, and that the original home of the Minish people was apparently in the sky, according to the intro to the Minish Cap, and since Vaati was originally a Minish himself, that serves to strengthen the alleged connection here. I also couldn't help but notice that there was a strong resemblance between the carving in the Sanctuary of the Four Sword and that design on Link's shield in the new trailer, though this is harder to tell at this point. And speaking of these sky islands, while we certainly never saw them before in Breath of the Wild, they do bear a strong resemblance to the Palace of Winds in the Minish Cap. From the spirals on the ground and columns, seen here, to the general blockiness of it all. I'm no architect, but stylistically I found them very similar. Pair this with the fact that the Picori, or Minish if you will, were originally from the sky, and the fact that they were also originally planned to be in the original Breath of the Wild before being cut, it really makes you wonder just what the Big N has in store for us next year. A few more smallish details I wanted to touch on. 1. In this new teaser we see what appears to be two Links. Whether it actually is two different people, or merely two different instances of the same person, remains to be seen. But one detail people keep pointing out is his long, flowing hair. Not tied in a ponytail like it is in some other shots in the same trailer. Link certainly has the right to change up his look from time to time, but it made me think of the legendary hero from the intro to, you guessed it, the Minish Cap, where we see a hero who looks just like Link, but with long flowing hair and the green headband instead of his iconic green hat. Is this definitely a connection? No, but it could be. 2. In both teasers, we see the desiccated corpse of what appears to be Ganondorf. There are a few theories that it's Aster, or someone else entirely, but most people, myself included, are pretty darn sure that's good old G-Dorf right there. My question is, how does he look so good? And I'm only slightly joking here. Consider that the original Ganondorf was born and supposedly died many hundreds of years ago. That guy should be dust. Especially since it doesn't seem like there was any real effort to mummify the body. I know there's very likely evil magic at work that can prolong his life or lack thereof, but still it seems harder to believe that this could be the same Ganondorf. Unless he's not. But of course there's only one Ganondorf, right? Actually, there's two. Well, depending on the theory, there could be more, but it's confirmed that there's at least two. And really, who needs any more of these guys running around anyway, am I right? Well, according to Hyrule Historia, Ganondorf was reincarnated in the Legend of Zelda, Four Swords Adventures. He set out across the kingdom to bring darkness to the land, much as the first Ganondorf did. He claimed the Trident of Power from the Pyramid in the Desert of Doubt, before releasing a familiar little wind mage from his imprisonment to cause further mayhem and destruction, before inevitably both were vanquished by the combined might of the four Links in that game. Here's my point. Four Swords Adventures is one of the last games in the Zelda timeline. So maybe this is that second Ganondorf. He'd still look like crap by now, but I'd be more willing to believe that he'd look like this than the first Ganondorf would. Now again, this could be the first Ganondorf, and Nintendo could just use evil magic to explain it all, but I kinda like the idea of Nintendo giving some love to a somewhat underappreciated title in the Zelda franchise. And this would also serve to strengthen the connection to Vaati in the upcoming game. Also, and this has nothing to do with the theory, but I did want to say it anyway, seeing all those dark tendrils of malice lift Hyrule Castle up into the sky at the end of the teaser reminds me of how they destroyed Demise near the end of Skyward Sword. Spoiler alert if you haven't played that game yet. Link wished upon the Triforce to drop the Temple of Hylia into the sealed grounds and crush him. Well, seeing all that malice coming out of the ground to lift a structure back up into the sky sure makes one think that maybe the seal has been broken and some ancient evil force is coming back. Whether he takes the form of Ganon or not. Alright boys and girls, that is the end of my theorizing. What did you think? Do you agree with my theory? Would you change anything? Do you disagree entirely? Feel free to leave any and all thoughts in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them. I am very, very excited for this game, and theorizing about it long before its release is all part of the fun. Plus, The Legend of Zelda is my favorite game series ever, and I'm glad to finally cover it in a video on this channel. If you like this video and want to see more Zelda theories, or just game theories in general, absolutely destroy that like button, and leave a comment down below. And if you did not like this video, no worries, I am currently in the process of working on a more traditional GameTom video as we speak. I've hit just about every possible snag in the production process, and I am only one man, but there is another video in the works. I won't give you any estimation as to when it'll be coming out, as I'm honestly not sure at this point, but just know that one is coming. I truly do thank you all for your kind patience and support. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Later, guys.